I hit my goals at 40, and I felt like a failure. I'm 39 years old, and I know most of you that are watching right now are probably 45, 50, maybe even older. So why should you listen to me? Well, to say it simply, I went through the crisis you're going through right now, except I went through it at almost 40. I sold my business, I had money in the bank, I had everything I thought I wanted, and I felt completely lost. No purpose, no direction, just empty. If you're 45, 48, 52, and you're feeling the same thing right now, I get it. I was there, like recently. And what I learned in the last year might save you from wasting your next decade the same way I almost wasted my 30s. So let me share with you what happened to me and what I discovered that changed everything. Let me take you back to December of 2022. I was in my late 30s running a successful upholstery business, making great money, building something real. From the outside, everything looked good. I built a business from nothing. I started a small shop, worked my way up, built a reputation. People knew my name. They trusted my work. I had clients that paid me well. I had skills that took years to develop. I had a business that could run without me every single day. I did what you're supposed to do, right? I built something. I created value. I made money doing it. Then I sold my business. I remember that day, December of 2022. Signed the papers, money hit the account, and I thought, finally, I'm free. I can figure out what's next. I had time. I had resources. I had options. Most people would say I had made it, except I had no idea what was next. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with that freedom. I didn't know what I was supposed to build. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even know what I wanted to build. I just knew that something was missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I had resources, I had time, I had experience, but I didn't have purpose. And then in November of 2023, my daughter was born. I'll never forget holding her for the first time. This little tiny person, completely dependent on me, looking at me like I had all the answers. And friend, that's when it really hit me. What am I going to teach her? I can teach her how to work hard. I know how to do that. I can teach her how to build a business. I did that. I can teach her how to make money. I've proven that I can do that too. But the question is, what is it all for? What's the purpose behind it all? See, I spent my entire 30s building something successful, and I thought I was good at it. I made money. I created something people valued, but I never asked God what I was supposed to be building. I just built, because that's what men do, right? You work, you provide, you figure it out. You build something with your own hands and your mind and your effort. But I built it all without direction, without asking God where He was leading me, without divine partnership, without purpose. And now I'm holding my daughter, and I don't even know what legacy to pass down to her. I can teach her how, but I couldn't teach her why. I can teach her how to make money, but I can't teach her what it's for. I was successful by external measure, but inside, I felt like a failure, friend. Because what good is success if you can't answer the question, what is this all for? Now, if you're watching this and you're 45, 50, maybe even older, you might be feeling something very similar to what I'm describing. You built something, maybe a business like I did, maybe a career. Maybe you climbed the corporate ladder to a VP position. Maybe you own your own successful company, doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million a year. You make good money, 6 figures, maybe more, maybe a lot more. You provided for your family. Your kids have what they need: a nice house, good schools, college funds. You've never gone without. You've done everything you're supposed to do. You can say that you even checked all the boxes. You played the game right, and you won. But friend, if we're going to be completely honest, you feel empty. And here's the worst part. You can't say that out loud, because if you did, people will look at you like you're crazy. Other men would kill for what you have. You're making how much and you're complaining? You should be thankful. What's wrong with you? So you do what most men do. You don't talk about it. You keep it all buried within yourself. You just feel it. Late at night when everyone's asleep, when it's just you and your thoughts, when you're scrolling through your phone at 11 p.m. and you should be sleeping, but you can't because your mind won't stop. Asking the question, is this it? I sacrificed. I worked 60-hour weeks. I stressed over payroll. I dealt with employees and clients and problems. And this is it? Friend, let me tell you something. You're not broken. You're not ungrateful. You're not even in a midlife crisis. You're just awake. You're realizing what I realized at almost 40. Success without purpose feels like failure. And once you wake up to that truth, you can't go back to sleep. You can't just go grinding and pretending it's enough. And friend, here's what I discovered after I sold my business. There's a difference between building something and being built for something. I spend my 30s building a business, building income, building a reputation, building wealth, building security. And friend, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with building. My Lord, it was God who gave us the ability to build to begin with. He gave us skills, talents, and intelligence to drive for this reason. But I never asked the bigger question, what was I built for? Not necessarily what can I build, not what should I build, not what will make me more money or give me more security, but what did God specifically build me to do? See, Frank, God doesn't just want you to be successful. He wants you to be significant. He doesn't want you just to make money, but He does want you to make an impact. He doesn't want you just to build a business. He wants you to build a legacy. And friend, listen, here's the thing that most men miss. You can't be successful without ever knowing your purpose. Plenty of men are, and you might be one of them right now. You can build a great business, make great money, provide for your family, have everything you need, and still feel empty, still feel unfulfilled, still feel like something's missing. Because success without purpose, that's just an activity. That's just motion. That's just grinding. But you can't be fulfilled without knowing your purpose. You can't feel significant without understanding what you were built for. And friend, that's the crisis that you're in right now. That's the crisis I was in. You achieved the goals, you built the thing, and made the money. You checked the boxes, but you never asked God, what did you build me for? And now you're 45, 48, 52, and you're realizing you might have spent your entire adult life building the wrong thing. Or maybe not the wrong thing. Maybe what you built was good. Maybe it was valuable. Maybe it helped people. But was it the right thing? It wasn't the thing that God actually called you to build. So friend, here's what I learned in the last year that changed everything for me. God gives you the power to create wealth. That's not prosperity gospel. That's not me making something up. That's a biblical principle. And you find that in Deuteronomy 8:18. It says, remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. You have the ability. You've proven it. You've built something. You've made money. You created value. And friend, all that power came from God. Here's the part that I missed in my entire 30s. He gives you that power for a reason, not just so you can provide for your family. Now, that's part of it, but that's not the whole thing. Not just so you can be comfortable, not just so you can retire at 65 with enough in your 401k, not just so you can have a nice house, a nice car, and nice vacations, but He gives you the power to create wealth so you can fund the purpose that He built you for. And friend, that's what I missed. And that's what might be missing for you right now. I used God's power to create wealth. I built the business. I made the money. I used the ability that He gave me, but I never asked Him what the wealth was for. I just built. I just provided. I just accumulated. And when I sold that business in December of 2022, I realized I have resources, but no purpose. I have wealth, but no direction. That's the crisis that you're in right now. You have the power. You've proven that. You built something. You made money. You're successful by external measure. But do you know what it's for? Do you know what God built you for to do with that power? Do you know what He wants you to fund with the wealth that He helped you create? Because friend, listen to me very closely. If you don't, you're going to spend the next 10, 15, maybe 20 years doing the exact same thing you've been doing. Working hard, making money, providing for people, building things, and still feeling empty. After I sold my business, my daughter was born. I was desperate for those answers. So I asked God 2 questions, and these 2 questions changed everything for me. Question number 1, God, what did you build me for? Not what can I build, not what should I do next, not what makes me the most money, but what did you specifically design me to do? What did you put me on this earth for? And question number 2, how do I use the wealth you've given me to fund that purpose? Not how do I make more money, not how do I build a bigger business, but how do I use what you've already given me to do, what you made me to do? Those 2 questions changed everything for me because I stopped trying to figure out my purpose on my own. I stopped asking, what do I want to do? What sounds good to me? And I started asking God, what do you want me to do? I stopped trying to create my own path, and I started asking God to show me the path He already designed me for. When I finally understood what I was built for, everything clicked. The emptiness gone. The confusion about what to do next, clarity. The feeling of wasting time replaced with direction and purpose. I'm still 39 and I'm building. I'm still working. I'm still creating. But now I'm building what I was made to build for. Not just something successful, something significant. Not just something that makes money, but something that makes a real impact. My daughter is 2 years old now. My son is going to be born this month. And I asked myself the question, what am I building now? And what am I building now? This purpose God showed me. This is what I'll teach them. Not just how to create wealth, but why, what it's for. I get to build this legacy while they're young, while they're watching, while they can see their dad living in purpose, not just chasing success. I get to show them a father who's aligned with what God made him for. Not a father who's just grinding and hoping it all means something. That's the gift of waking up early. That's why I'm grateful. Genuinely grateful that I had this crisis at almost 40 instead of 50. Because now I have time. I have time to build the right thing. Time to show my kids what God-aligned wealth actually looks like. If you're 45, 48, maybe 52, and you're watching this, let me tell you something. It's not too late for you either. I know you feel like you should have figured this out at 30, at 35, at 40. I know you look back and you think, I spent my entire life chasing the wrong thing. But here's the good news, friend. You're awake now. And that's what matters. God didn't waste anything. He doesn't waste your success. He doesn't waste your experience. He doesn't waste the skills you developed or the business you built or the money you made. He's preparing you, building you, teaching you lessons that you didn't even know you were learning. And now He's ready to show you what you were made for. But you have to ask, not what should I do? Not how do I fix this? Not how do I make more money? But God, what did you build me for? And here's the beautiful part. You already have the power to create wealth. You've proven that. You've done that. Now you just need to know what it's for. So let me ask you, do you know what God built you for? Not just what you can do, not just what you're good at, not just what makes you money, but what you were specifically designed to do. If you don't, it's time to ask. Friend, drop a comment below and tell me, what is one thing that you're realizing about your life right now? And friend, if this resonated with you and you feel like this helped you, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm creating content specifically for men like you, men who achieve success but are searching for significance. Let's figure this out together. Till next Sunday, I look forward to seeing you again. God bless.